All right. By the way, I can't record.
Oh, I got it.
All right. Notice is hereby given that a meeting of the City of the Sandy Oaks Animal Control Advisory Committee will be held Monday, July 27th, 2020 at 6:30 p.m. by telephonic video conferencing for the purpose of considering the following agenda items. All agenda items are subject to action. In an effort to advance the public health goal of limiting face-to-face meetings, also called social distancing, to slow the spread of coronavirus, there will be no in-person public access to the meeting. And I don't need to give the access because we all have it. The public will be permitted to offer public comments telephonically or by audio as provided by the agenda and as permitted by the presiding officer during the meeting. And we don't have any written comments, so we'll dispense with that. So it is 6:31 and we'll call this meeting to order. And if you just sound off when I call your name. I, of course, am CJ Walker. Janet Vanderveer.
That's me, I'm here.
Lori Cherry.
Here.
Julie Ramirez.
Julie? Oh, now, hold on. You muted yourself. Okay, I tried to unmute you. I can't unmute you.
Hear me?
There you are.
There, that's better.
Sorry, I'm here.
Okay, and Stephen Groover.
Here.
All right. And Mickey Ball is in attendance, Mayor Ball.
I'm here.
And we also have two guests with us tonight. That's Kat Groover and her niece, great niece, Shannon.
Yes, they're both here.
Hi, Kat. Hi, Shannon.
Hi.
Okay, citizens to be heard. We didn't have anybody formally sign up. I did want to, well, it's not on the agenda, so I can't discuss it. Never mind. Number 3, discuss and/or possible action on additional council member added to the Animal Control Advisory Committee. I am requesting from the Animal Control Advisory Committee that we add one more alderman to the committee. They would not be a voting person, but they would be an additional person to help keep us on track. I actually was looking at Mr. Fillinger, Alderman Fillinger, because he is familiar with Robert's Rules of Orders and acting as a parliamentarian, helping us keep on track and keep moving forward. What I need to know is discussion on that, pros, cons. Anybody have any challenges with it?
Not.
I don't. I think he'd be a good member.
I agree.
Janet and Lori?
That's fine with us, yeah. We don't really
Yeah.
know
We
him.
don't know him, but it doesn't matter.
An extra alderman?
Yes.
All right. What we've done in the city council meetings in order to take votes and make sure everybody is accounted for is we've asked people to sound off but also raise their hand if you're a voting member, which is everybody but Mickey and myself. So all those in favor of requesting city council add Mr. Fillinger to Acac
I think the correct term is to recommend nominating him, because doesn't that go back before council?
Yes, it does. I'm sorry. All those in favor of recommending to City Council a nomination of Mr. Fillinger to
Aye.
ACAC?
Aye.
Aye.
I think the ayes have it.
I think the ayes have it. And you have a small enough group that I think that you might not have to
Right.
raise as well.
As long as I hear everybody, it sounds good.
Yes.
All right. So number 5. Oh, I'm sorry.
Can I
Stephen?
can I make a nomination also?
I think the correct procedure, Stephen, is that a nomination is made, and if that nomination was not affirmative by the group, then another nomination would be made at that time for consideration. So I think since.
Okay, but
Go ahead.
I don't believe he is discussing for an additional council member.
No.
And that was why I stopped myself. Stephen, it's not on the agenda right now.
Okay.
And you are interested in nominating Shannon, correct?
Yes.
Yes, it's not on the agenda right now, so technically it would be, we can't discuss it at this meeting at the moment.
All right. Sorry.
Um,
How about next meeting?
yes, we'll see to it. It's on the agenda. All right. And number 5, update on animals currently at Oak Hills, fosters, or other locations that are scheduled for rescues or need placement.
Okay, you skipped number 4, I think.
Oh, I'm sorry, I did. Number 4, update policy on copying all members of ACAC and appropriate volunteers on texting and email threads. That was a reminder to myself. I want to get a list of the phone numbers and the emails and send it to everybody on this call. And I would ask that when we have an email thread or when we're texting on the phone about rescues and stuff, that we copy everybody on the committee so we're all aware of what's been going on in regards to rescues and needing adoptions and other items.
Okay. Do you want to give us your number so that then we can text our number and emails to you? Then you'll have our numbers.
That's actually probably a good idea because I think I have some numbers and not all of them. My number is 210-243-4587. And I have everybody's email addresses, I believe.
I know at one meeting I don't know if everyone was there, but one meeting we filled out that information.
Right. Now I want to make
But,
up a formal list and be able to send it to everybody so we can all plug it into our phones, plug it into our email.
Right. Well,
Okay.
we can send that to you on the text. That'll work, right?
Right.
So you'll have our number and our email.
Right. That would be
CJ.
wonderful.
CJ.
Can you yes?
Yes.
Are y'all able to see us?
No,
just
we
hear-
don't have the camera, just hear you.
Oh, okay. She's just
Do-
asking because she's in her pajamas.
Well, then ignore my request. I just requested you to share your camera. Don't do it.
Okay. I said later. Yeah. I just got up. I thought, oh no. Okay.
Stephen,
Do
what
you
was
have
that?
my CJ? Do you have my phone number and email?
I have your email. I don't believe I have your phone number.
All right. It's 210-420-0401.
Okay. Got it. So I'm going to pull that list together and make sure everybody has a copy of it. And that goes for the different volunteers that assist. If we have any that are volunteering for placements and rescues, etc. Okay. Is there anybody opposed to me giving out their phone number and email address?
No. Jan, that's me.
I wouldn't have imagined there was, but just in case. If there is, just let me know. Number number 5, update on animals currently at Oak Hills, fosters, or other locations that are scheduled for rescues or need placement. Chris isn't here, and I only know of one animal that is a lost or found. I don't know if there are others still waiting for rescues and adoptions.
I talked with Chris this morning. There are, as of this morning, now things could have changed this afternoon, but as of this morning, there were no animals at Oak Hills. And there were 2 fosters, if I'm not mistaken, with Janet.
Yes, but we found a rescue placement for them.
Okay, and then just make sure that you update Chris with the particulars so he can do the outtake on that one.
Awesome.
Yeah, he knows. He met the person. But
Perfect.
from what I understand, that white German Shepherd was there till tomorrow, right?
Was that the bite?
The
I think
bite
that-
dog.
No, I think he's already taken that one out.
Oh, he did take one. I thought he told me tomorrow. And then there was the mama dog to the feral. Is that the only one that's at Oak Hills?
I don't think any are at Oak Hills, according to what he told me this morning.
I
Okay.
see one that is still on the website, Cruella, small tan dog, found today.
Oh, that.
Oh, okay. And like I said, it could have happened today, and I'm just not aware of it.
But we have a three-day hold in case the owner pops up.
I think he was looking for someone to foster. I thought that's what he told me.
It's a 6-year-old mixed breed female,
You know how
under
big?
24 pounds. It's a small dog.
Small, like terrier type breed or something?
It's kind of what it looks like, but it's under 24 pounds, fully grown, mixed breed female, small tan.
And can I-
If he hasn't found a foster, I can foster that one as well.
I can.
Just for those who joined after CJ and I started the conversation, Chris, so I have instructed every employee of the city that there is no overtime at all. We've got to finish out this year. And so if he were to attend the meeting, which I didn't know what happened today since the time that I spoke with him this morning, but that's why he's not on the call. So you can always reach out to him during, there you go, during normal business hours.
Right. Yeah, I needed a couple of these items were for him towards the end of the meeting.
Yeah, it looks like that one's at Oak Hills then, as of today.
Yeah.
Okay.
Poor
You look
thing.
scared.
Okay. Yeah, it does. Poor baby. All right.
So I have a question for, let's use Stephen as an example. I know that you're on the audio portion, Stephen, but do you also see the video?
No, I can't right this minute, no.
Julie, what about you?
Yes, ma'am, I can.
And Janet and Lori?
Yeah.
Okay,
Where my iPad so we can see it.
okay.
All right. And the
We
next,
can hear it. Well, we can see it and hear it.
Yes.
Oh, okay,
Or we
now
just
I
can't
got
see each other.
video.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay. Gotcha.
oh, good. And the next item is 6.
You go back to the agenda.
Sorry. Yes. Although I'm gonna move from that real quick. Actually, 6 was a question for the committee as well as Chris. Number 6, discuss and/or possible action on using the layout of the ACO report from March as a standard layout for the Acac
Can you show what it looks like?
shelter and city council. Yes. This is the one that's posted on the website. Okay, you see it?
Do.
Oh yeah.
Can you still see it?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, it says it's paused. Why am I paused? Okay. All right. The breakdown is nice and all, you know, all this investigation and cruelty, neglect, enforcement, etc. The part I was wondering about was here. For March on the city website, this is what we have for animal control. These 10 pages, the last page is this financial breakdown. And that's very nice to have because it tells us, you know, the examined services, the euthanasia costs, the boarding costs, the totals, how much of the discount was given.
So I'd like to comment on this because it was, I think it was this report or one of them that was very similar to this. And I've had a conversation with Chris and Catherine. What you're looking at here, this is a manually populated spreadsheet that Catherine created. This is not part of Pet Point, so this requires intervention. The first part of it that you showed, the previous pages, all come directly from Pet Point.
Right, this
Okay,
stuff.
yes. And what you will see, stop, go down, no, go up, just, okay, right there on the, no, page up, one page up, right there. Okay, the very first column there, the ARN, that is the unique number assigned to every animal.
Correct.
So what we're doing, and I haven't checked to see if it's been posted on the website yet, but now you go back down to the last page that had the finances on it. You'll see here it says the name of the dog. So Catherine and Chris have been very busy over the last month or so going back through the historical records for every transaction, for every animal that is in QuickBooks where we're paying the bills. And they are breaking it out by ARN. So what will happen is you will see this format as it's presented each month. So you'll see the monthly report, but there will also be another report that is a full view of everything from the beginning of time for this right here, so that anybody who looks at the financial reports on the city website, it will reflect the ARN number that's reflected in here, and they can look
And they
at
can
the
match it up.
details. They can match it up themselves.
The only challenge that I've noticed and there's no way around this that I can think of, is that the financial reports from the city, because of the way it's formatted, it only allows for up to like 3 ARN numbers and then the beginning of a fourth one. You know, so if there's more.
We're doing splits. So each
Oh,
transaction
okay.
is a split.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome.
And they will be in a, I can't speak to the Pet Point report, but the financial report will be in a downloadable Excel file.
Awesome.
And then at the end of each month, that report will be rerun to include the details from the end of the current month and then reposted. So it'll be a running total.
Right. Right. Wow, that's a lot of work.
Now,
So will that be on the City of Sandy Oaks website?
it
this
will,
report?
yes.
Awesome. Okay.
Now, you're looking at a March report, right?
Right.
Okay. To be honest, I have not been out on the website to see what's been uploaded and what's out there, but they were still working through a few, stragglers that they were trying to make sure they had them reflected correctly.
Yeah, it's
Can you go to the website since you've
that's
got
what I'm trying to do right
Oh,
now.
okay.
Yeah, see, under the monthly reports, it's got February and March.
Okay.
And February does not have that breakdown that I showed.
No. And she hasn't got the April, May, June reports up
Right.
there, or
Right.
the running total one. Okay.
So anyway, yes, I was wondering if that could be done, and it's already being worked on. Great. All right, so that takes care of 6.
Go back.
7. Oh, did anybody else have any other comments on that?
Can you go back to the agenda?
We're kind of I think it's Mickey, when you talk, it's kind of coming in and out. We're hearing like every third word. I can hear everyone else fine, but I don't know.
It's probably because I'm doing this on the computer.
Oh, okay. What was the question then? Because I didn't hear it all.
Oh, I was wondering if anybody else had anything they wanted to share in regards to that layout.
Oh, okay. No, I don't. I think that it looks pretty good. Breaks it up nice, or breaks it down nice.
Okay. Number 7 is update TNRs completed and upcoming TNRs. And Chris isn't here, but I'm sure Janet, Lori, you know where we are with TNRs?
I
Or Mickey?
don't have a total. We haven't kept a running total because Chris picks up the paperwork when he picks up the cats.
Mm-hmm.
So the paperwork goes to the office with him. So he probably has a running total of that.
Yeah, you'll probably see it in the next city council meeting because this is the end of July. So we'll see that in his next report. We always
Right.
do the monthly reports the first meeting of the month.
Yeah, and it's usually on the ACO report. I was wondering about upcoming. Were there any that were being? How are we going with? I know Janet and Lori, you were working on not the house next to you, but 2 houses down.
No, yeah, well, both of them, and what's his name, Nicholas Nevin,
Nevin. Yeah.
and um, Chris sent
And what?
Her name is Jennifer. I forgot what number she talked about cats. Help with about 10 ferals.
10 ferals. And who was that? I lost your volume. I can't hear you very well.
Before she's 3.
Yeah, Janet and Lori, we can't hear y'all. You're breaking up.
Oh no.
Can y'all hear us now?
Yeah.
That's better. And you disappeared.
So we have your cat on Shady Forest. Can you? What about now?
Now I hear you so far. Keep talking.
Okay. So we have about 3 or 4 on Shady Forest.
Nick has 11 kittens.
Nick has 11 kittens on Skila.
3
Oh, wow.
3 mama cats.
And the 3 mama cats of those 11 kittens.
And we've already done a lot of this too. And then-
Most of his are already done. Well, most of, I shouldn't even call them his, most of the cats in that area that he feeds are already done.
Okay.
But he does have all the kittens and the 3 mamas. I think there's 5. Is there 5 more left at Lily's?
Lily's, there's 3 babies and 1 mama at Lily's.
4.
And then there's the house next door to her, there's at least 2.
Okay. So 6, 10, plus the 11 babies is 21. 3 mamas is 24. And then
Let me find the email.
Janet's finding the email for the 10 cats on another street in Waterwood. It's in was it Waterwood Pass?
She doesn't.
So like,
it just has her name. It does. I've talked to her on the phone, so I don't know her physical address, but I can find it out.
like 34 more
Oh, no.
Wow.
cats.
Yeah, well, we're getting there.
Yeah, we are getting there because now, I mean, you look around and you just see clipped ears everywhere. So it's getting better.
And,
Yeah.
and a lot of them are the babies that were born when everything was shut down.
Right.
You know, so we. You
Yeah,
know, that's
we
why
would've-
there's so many baby kittens. But
Yeah. Normally we would have taken those mamas and those babies wouldn't have been born. But
Yeah.
here we are.
And I have another individual to add to the mix.
Uh-huh.
I spoke with a gentleman a couple days ago, and he was asking specifically about cats. I explained the TNR program. He thought that was wonderful. He says, he's just one of those people, has a kind heart, but doesn't want the cats, but doesn't mind them being there because he knows the purpose that they serve. But
Right.
it was a male and a female, and of course they had kittens. So now he's got 3 kittens plus the mama and the daddy. And so I told him to reach out to Catherine to get set up for TNR, and he's actually willing to contribute financially to the program.
that's
Oh,
awesome.
Oh, wow.
I was actually gonna make that suggestion if, like, when people call regarding it,
If they
you
can
know,
pay,
if they
should we take their $20 and give it to you guys?
We do have a way, there is we have a line item for donations for animal control, and we also have it for the park. So we do have a means
Right.
to accept that, yes.
Okay.
So we can ask them to make a donation. I mean, I'm not telling, but ask if they wouldn't mind making a donation.
I would not solicit, but you might just let them know.
If they
that
bring
this-
it up, we can tell them.
They
The
don't-
city does
Well-
accept donations for the TNR
Right.
program, but
Uh-huh.
we cannot solicit that.
Right. Sharon Toth, she was on Copper Canyon.
Uh-huh.
How many cats were done from hers? Just the mama cat, right? Yeah, we did one mama cat for her, and then Lynette took the 3 babies to foster the babies.
Mhm.
And that lady did ask where she could make a donation.
Oh,
So
okay.
I can text her back and tell her it's on the city website. Is that right?
She just needs to contact the city.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
She can drop off a check or drop off cash, whatever she wants to do. And then, you know, might be nice if we were able to tie that back to an ARN, but that would be a Chris thing.
Yes. Back to what? To the animal number. Yeah. She was on Copper Canyon. It was 1 female, 1 mama cat.
Okay. Well, I'm glad to hear that Nick is getting her
Done.
herd in.
Actually, he has a very healthy herd.
He does have a very healthy herd.
His ferals look very clean and healthy. Very unlike most ferals I see.
Well, he has a lot of room for them, and the majority of them came with the house when he bought it.
Right, that's what he said.
They actually come up to him when he's giving them treats, but they don't come up to him. They come near him.
Right.
You know, he has treats and he'll put the treats down. But the kittens, I think most of his kittens, when they're ready, what were we thinking? Like 3 weeks? 2 weeks. Two more weeks. They're possibly going to be ready to be spayed or neutered.
Perfect.
But and the good thing is, they're probably going to be very easy catches because they're not
wild ferals.
right.
Right.
So I think his 11 will be easy, and the mama cat might be a little harder to find. The 3 cats at Lily's, which is my next door neighbor, the 3 kittens, they're trappable.
Oh, good. Good.
And this Vanessa girl, she there was like 10 she was guessing, but it sounded to me like they were really feral. So
Really.
I mean, the kittens will be easy. It's just the other ones might take a little while. And now
Yeah.
Brooks has reduced the number of cats each trapper can bring down to 2.
Oh, really?
It,
Oh, wow.
it was 3, and they reduced it down to 2. So if Lori and I both go, we can bring 4.
That's
Only
4.
4.
Okay.
My husband's going to take the TNR class. He just doesn't know it yet. Yeah.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
All right. So I don't know if Chris has any plans on taking TNRs down later this week or not. Has anyone heard?
I haven't.
Yeah, I haven't heard either. Okay.
I talked to him this morning. We met at Oak Hills to bring the dog Sam, and then bring Scout was one of the dogs I was fostering. We brought him to Wilson County No-Kill Animal Shelter. So they did there. So I talked to him for a bit, but he didn't really say much of you know. So
I'm sure his brain wasn't focused on some of this stuff. He was probably just dealing with what was right there in front of him at the moment.
Yeah, he's got a lot going on.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's always tons for him. All right. So then the next one was an update on the written TNR policy and procedures. And I didn't know, I know we talked about it last time, but I can't remember if Lori or Janet, if one of you were involved with the TNR program. I thought one of you were involved with San Antonio Feral, and somebody was going to take it on. And And if not, I have my handy dandy
I mean,
notepad here.
I'm in the San Antonio Feral Cat Coalition, but I don't have their policy and procedure.
Manual.
We get it.
If we can get a copy of it so that we need to put it into the formal ACAC policy and procedure manual that will go with the animal control department with the
Okay.
city.
Okay.
It has to be a document. It's one I'm working on for the city. For city council has to have one that has to be accepted by city council. I don't know enough about the TNR program to even begin to have it. I know I have information on ASPCA with the dog programs that are available out in this area
Uh-huh.
and the basic policies, but I don't, TNR is outside of what I know.
Okay.
That's why I was wondering if one of you guys could get a copy of that or an electronic copy, and send it to me, because I'll have to put it into the manual,
Okay.
into
I'll
the
get
city manual.
you.
That would be so awesome if you guys can track something down. 9 is discuss and or possible action on the upcoming vaccination clinics, and Michelle's not here.
I'm going to
But
make a recommendation on that. We need to advertise those
Heavily.
earlier than they have been and with specific details, because on the last one, it popped up like that day. There was no date, no time. I wasn't even sure if it was when it was. So we
Are
need
you
to make sure
Penny?
that we're advertising those well ahead and with all the information.
Are you talking about penny paws? Because the
Whoever was
last
at the
2 have
park,
had them.
well, Michelle posted something that was on Nextdoor and also to the city Facebook page, but it just said, come on down. It didn't say like when, what time. I had no,
In addition to that, there were no signs, because I was actually waiting for the next clinic to bring a couple of my personal dogs, and there's always a sign like in front of the Dollar General or Valero, and there was no sign. So I didn't think they came, and then I found out later they did. So there was,
For this most recent penny
Yeah.
paws?
yeah, it was like last week, I think.
Week
Yeah,
before.
a week or so
Or-
ago. Yeah. Huh.
And
Yeah, the advertisement I saw for it had date and time on it. And it had a link to their website so you could look at pricing. But I do agree we need to blast these more, and definitely, I wonder what happened to their sign, because they were going to put their sign out and Michelle was going to put a at City Park and the address
do we know how did the event
next to
go?
it.
The most recent event.
That was my next question, how it went.
I don't know.
I don't know. Michelle's not here, so I don't know. The Healthy Pets will be coming back out. Let's see, Penny Paws should be August 15th.
Okay. And they're all going to be at the city park now, right?
Yes, all at the
Okay.
city park.
And do you know when the other one is coming up?
That's Penny Paws is the 15th, and yes, I do. In fact, I've already put her on the calendar for the pavilion. Let me bring it up in my notes.
Thank you.
I think it's the 22nd. Yeah, the 22nd which is a Saturday, from 12:30 to 2 p.m. at the city park
Of August?
of August, yes.
Is that for the microchip or the vaccination?
Both of them are vaccinations.
What's the name of the other one? Not Penny Paws. What's the name of the other one?
One on the 22nd is Healthy Pets.
Healthy Pets. Is that
And
one? Is that one that's in conjunction with China Grove?
yes,
Okay. That's where I take all my personal animals to
Right.
China Grove. So I like to go to their clinics because they have it all on record.
Right.
Instead of having to go and pay a visit exam fee.
Yeah, and that's August 22nd. Now, both of these, both Penny Paws and Healthy Pets, we can start advertising now and also include the areas surrounding us. It's not just Sandy Oaks. Any of the neighborhoods surrounding us, anybody can bring their animals down. And I don't I don't know the time for Penny Paws. It seems to me they were doing it, was it 3 to 5 was Penny Paws?
Yeah, they were a little bit later. I think it was the last time that I used them, which was not this past time that I missed it, but the time before that, I guess a month ago. I just totally went blank. What was the question?
I can't remember what times they
Oh, yeah.
normally schedule.
They were later than the Healthy Pets. They were like before 3 to 5. You're right. It's a little bit later of a time.
Okay, I'll make sure they're sticking with that time for August and make sure that's on that they've made sure the pavilion is available. We always have to make sure the pavilion is available. Now,
Right.
Healthy Pets, was someone going to say something? Did I cut somebody off?
No. Oh, unless someone else was. I don't know. I didn't hear anything.
Okay. Now, Healthy Pets is okay with us having a microchip clinic at the same time, and we were going to do a microchip clinic, and I don't know what happened with that.
Well, I had volunteered for that, and who's the other gal? Dark hair.
Lynette, Julie, Lynette,
Annette.
Lynette Fetterspill or something.
yes.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Lynette.
She was gonna. He said she would help out with that as well, and Lori will too, as long as it's not scheduled. She works every other weekend, so it depends on what weekend. Because you were wanting like us to chip them and put it in a computer, like register the chips.
Right.
So we had the 3 people that can do that.
We just need to set up a time, day. We can do it at the same time as Healthy Pets, between 12:30 and 2 p.m.
Yeah, that would work.
I want to make sure that's August 22nd. I want to make sure that is that a day when Lori's available? And I don't know if Lynette's available that time.
Let's see, August 22nd.
Second.
Let's see. Hang on 1 second.
Okay.
Lori? She had to run inside real quick, so when she gets out here, we can get her schedule. She'll know. Oh, what is
I'm
your
sorry, I got crying kids. Okay. What is it?
the Healthy Pets? The shots they do. August 22nd, they're coming and we're trying to get, remember how they want us to microchip as
Mhm.
well? I didn't know if that was one of the weekends you work or not.
I can take off.
You can just take off that day?
Yeah.
Are you
Okay.
sure?
Yeah, I'll just take off August 22nd.
Then that's at least 2 of us. I mean, and even if Lynette can't do it, Lori and I can do it.
Okay. And I'll be down there for at least part of it, if not the whole thing. So I could also help register or whatever needed.
So is someone bringing a laptop or something so we can?
I'm off that weekend.
Oh, she's off that weekend anyway, so that works.
Oh, good. Mickey, can we get the city laptop to automatically enter them, or should we print out sheets to enter the information on?
We'll work with Chris on what's the best way to do that.
Okay. All right. And we'll need tables and such for that.
Mhm.
Okay.
Does the city have those tables, those long white ones? Because I have one. I have one that's a long, like banquet style. And
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
have this.
We have, I think, a half dozen of them.
Oh, okay, okay, that should
And
work.
and some chairs and it's warm enough. We might need some water bottles and dog dishes.
Yeah, definitely. Because sometimes the line's pretty long. The dogs have to wait a while.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Any other discussion on the vaccination? Oh, yes. We need to find out signage. What happened to the signs? And how Penny Paws did on July 18th. Okay, I'll touch base with Michelle for some of that. 11, update on costs for dewormer, flea tick, parvo test kits, other vaccination care supplies that staff and volunteers at the shelter can handle for recommendation to city council. And I think Lynette had commented she was going to get me a copy of the, what is it, MWI sheet, just so we have an idea of what those will come to.
Yeah, I think,
So we'll,
yeah, she did last meeting.
we'll set that, we'll table that one for today. And actually 12, 13, and but 12 and 13 were for Chris. I put them on here for Chris. He was going to get us a checklist on help he needed to set up the facility and for inspection. And the other one was get a checklist of other assistance that he might need for the animal control department. So since he's not here, we'll table those two for right now.
I think he
Yeah.
was also gonna get a policy and procedure from Wilson County No Kill Animal Shelter. You know how they run it, like when the dogs or cats first come in, and
For the,
you know.
yeah, that's the basic, yeah,
CJ,
that's the shelter running. Yeah. Yes, Stephen.
I know you tabled what, 11 for right now? Can I
Yes.
ask a question about that real quick?
Yes.
On the supplies and stuff like that, who's going to be authorized to administer or do the testing on those?
That would depend on the items that are involved. In most cases, Chris is qualified to do it, and I believe Lynette, right, Mickey?
I don't know the answer to that. I don't recall.
I'm not sure of the other ones.
Yeah, we're-
However, that is to be determined in the policy and procedure manual.
Right.
So that will be something that needs to be approved and accepted, and that will be part of the shelter committee.
Okay. The
One
reason
thing,
why I was asking, I mean, is there any training that has to be done or whatever for somebody to be qualified for that?
I'm sure there are for certain items.
Okay.
one thing I know for sure is the rabies vaccination has to be given by a vet.
Right.
But
That-
all the
that's
ones-
different.
all the other ones can be given. I mean, I used to, when I lived way out in the country, I used to get the vaccinations from Tractor Supply,
Right.
from one of those stores, and I vaccinated my own dogs.
Do your own vaccinations, yes.
Yeah, so I mean, they sell them over the counter there. You don't need any special certificate to buy them. So I mean, it was good to have like a vet tech there to do it, but if not, I don't think
The decision will have to be in the shelter policy and procedure manual that the city adopts, that the animal control office and the city adopts, and then we need to follow that guideline. So
Okay.
if
no,
they're
no,
willing to let other people be trained to do it by the ACO, that's one thing. That's
I understand that. I understand that completely. I was just, I was just bringing that point up because I vaccinated my own dogs until we moved.
right. And
Closer.
there's a lot of things like the dewormer, flea and tick baths and things like that I'm sure volunteers can handle. It depends
what-
on what guidelines are set forth by the city.
Right. And what I meant was about, like the average layperson given the vaccinations. I'll look into it, but I don't think there's a state or federal requirement for a certain degree or training to do it, but I can find that out.
Well, and I think when Elena came out and talked to us, I think there was a differentiation between a municipality and volunteers and a 501c3 and
There is.
volunteers. I think there's a difference there.
There
Yeah.
is. Plus, it also depends on what our shelter committee, even if there is no distinction, it depends on what the shelter committee and the municipality want to make the policy
Right.
for our shelter, because you got to remember we're not a 501c3 and there are certain
We're under state statutes.
right
The city is, yes.
the city is.
Okay.
So
Okay. I can look, I don't, if you want, I can look that up and print it out for you. Or send it to you. What the state requires, and then the city, I mean.
I
you
have
can
the
get-
state requirements.
Oh, you have it already, okay.
Yeah, and then it's up to the city of but that's a
The city.
shelter, that's a
Yeah.
shelter committee discussion.
Okay.
Okay.
Can I ask about the facility?
Okay, so before we do that, because I do have something I'd like to share on that as well, but we need to finish this agenda, and then when we have closed the meeting, we'll stop the recording and then we can have a conversation.
Sounds good.
Number 14 is discuss and/or possible action on a volunteer campaign for the animal control department and the shelter.
Can you go to page
And-
2 of the agenda?
Pardon?
Page
Oh.
2 of the agenda? Thank you.
Yes, certainly.
There we
you
go. Okay.
So I just wanted to bring this up so that people could start thinking and brainstorm some different ideas on a volunteer campaign. We kind of need an idea of what kind of things Chris needs assistance with. Certainly in the shelter, that will be one separate item. But one of his items was a checklist for the facility for inspection, and the other was a checklist and/or other assistance needed by the animal control department. So we are going to be needing volunteers for both the shelter, and it would be nice to help Chris out with some other items, since that is part of what Acac was originally tasked with by City Council. But we need to know what those are from Chris. So in the meantime, start brainstorming in your head so that when Chris has some ideas of things that he needs help with, we have a way of coming forward with it, with volunteers to help. Sound good?
Yeah.
Me,
I-
yeah.
I don't know how you, I mean, I know there's ways, but I don't know how you can get volunteers that, unless like there's, I mean, you can't like go door to door knocking, or you can put signs up.
No, yeah, signs and maybe some marketing materials or calls for volunteers
And
on
something
next
that
door
city,
and social
like,
media and stuff.
yeah.
I think you're going to need to make sure this is just my experience when you're looking for volunteers. Be very specific on what you're looking for.
Right.
We're looking for people who are willing to come bathe animals. We're looking for people who can come in on the weekends to feed and water animal.
And that's why I felt like we needed to just kind of get an idea in our heads of some different ideas of ways of getting volunteers, but we can't really move forward on it until we get the checklists from Chris as to what kind of help does he need,
Okay.
Now,
you know,
if
for the
someone,
facility and for the animal control department.
now if somebody wants to volunteer and say like, if they say, I just, I'll volunteer, but I only want to wash dogs, that's okay, right?
Sure.
They don't
Sure.
have to, if they're a volunteer, they don't have to have all the duties thrust upon them.
Oh, no,
Because
no.
yeah, that might be a deciding factor for some people, is the reason I was asking.
Right. I'm sure there's going to be times we're going to need people to walk dogs, to feed dogs, to bathe dogs, and if we have a wide variety of people who are interested in helping, then we have a list of people to call,
Yeah.
hey, can you come help on this day? But that's all I've got. Are we ready to adjourn?
I think so. Do you have anything else, Janet?
I was just wondering, and I don't know if you know it, or if it's going to be in another meeting, if we have an estimate as to when the facility will be accepting dogs up and running.
Let's
so
adjourn this meeting and stay
Okay.
on the call for a little bit. We
Sounds
can chit chat.
All right.
Okay, I'm going to, let me stop recording. As soon
I
as I
adjourned the meeting at
figure out.
7:29.
7:29, okay. I'm going to stop recording now.